Welcome to the Warsaw Narrative, the first English language podcast dedicated to the history of Warsaw. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Today, we're looking at Warsaw's Miraculous Crucifix of Christ and how this symbol of faith is not only surrounded by history, but also amazing stories. The Miraculous Crucifix, also called the Baryczka Crucifix, is located in the Old Town inside St. John's Archcathedral. To find it, go to the left and it is in a chapel near the altar. The crucifix was crafted in the German city of Nuremberg at the end of the 15th or early 16th century during the late Gothic period. In 1525, a wealthy Warsaw consular named Jerzy Baryczka was visiting Nuremberg on business, right as the Protestant Reformation began to sweep through the city. With churches being stripped and sacred objects destroyed, Baryczka came across the crucifix right before it was to be burned. He rescued it from destruction and brought it back to Warsaw, where it found a new home inside the Archcathedral. What makes the crucifix even more interesting is that the figure of Christ has real human hair. And according to legend, back in Nuremberg, the hair would actually grow. That is, until Martin Luther started his Reformation. Once the crucifix arrived in Warsaw, the hair began to grow again, and every Good Friday it was cut, but only by a virgin girl. This tradition continued for years until Jerzy Baryczka's great-granddaughter gave the figure of Jesus a haircut. Apparently, she had lied on her job application and was no virgin. From that moment, the hair never grew again. Then came the Warsaw Uprising of 1944. As the Germans destroyed the city, the Archcathedral caught fire. The crucifix was removed out of the burning church by the priest Wacław Karłowicz, with the help of two nurses, Barbara and Teresa. By lucky coincidence, the two nurses happened to be in the cathedral to help Father Karłowicz, who likely wouldn't have managed to carry the heavy crucifix himself. They brought it to Święty Jacek Church on Freta Street, which was serving as a hospital. Inside the church's dark crypt, wounded soldiers and civilians lay on the floor, and among them they placed the figure of Christ. A priest who often visited the hospital was giving last rites to the dying when he spotted what looked like a fallen soldier, covered by a coat. He leaned in and asked if the man wished to confess. There was no answer. Assuming the worst, the priest reached under the coat and felt a cold, rigid body. To be sure, he lit a match in the dark. In the flickering light, he saw the face of Christ. The crucifix survived the war and, in 1948, was returned to the newly rebuilt Archcathedral. Over the centuries, people from all walks of life have prayed before the crucifix, as it was a symbol of hope. Popes John Paul II and Benedict XVI both visited the cross during their time in Warsaw. In 2019, it underwent a careful restoration. The hair added to the figure of Christ after the war was in bad condition and was replaced with a new wig of human hair. Sadly, the original wig, the one connected to the legend of the growing hair, was destroyed during the fire. The Baryczka Crucifix is often called miraculous, and according to Bishop Janocha, it is miraculous in three ways. As a work of art, it is an artistic miracle. As a survivor of war, it is a historical miracle. And as an object of continuous worship over 5 centuries, it's a theological miracle. So the next time you're visiting Warsaw's Old Town, step inside St. John's Archcathedral and take a moment to witness the miracle yourself. Thank you for listening, and take care.